and backwards horns, these are the bongos. They're known as the ghosts of the forest because they love to hide in the trees and bushes, and their backwards horns help them to cut their tangled underbrush without getting stuck. The light brown animals, the white stripes, the greater kudu. Only male greater kudu have horns, it looks like those are female. They're the second tallest antelopes in Africa. They can weigh up to 750 pounds. On your right, the dark red animal with the white stripes on its front and back legs is the okapi. The okapi is commonly mistaken as a relative of the zebra because of those stripes on their legs. But actually, they're the only known relatives of the giraffe. They have a neck and tongue structure like a giraffe, and they're one of Africa's most shy and reclusive animals. They were not discovered by the Western world until 1901. Now on your left, we're looking up the black rhino, because I've heard that they love to hang out in this area. You're definitely going to know when you see a black rhino, because they have an extremely thick hide and they weigh up to 3,000 pounds. But you also have to keep in mind they're very rare to spot in the wild. There are less than 5,000 of them left in the entire world. But if you look straight back on your left, along that rock wall there, you're going to see one. Blends in very, very well. Kind of hard to see. Look straight back. And then on your right, the black and white bird with the orange bill is the saddle-billed stork. Now they are one of the tallest storks in Africa, standing about 5 feet tall with a wingspan of 9 feet. And they're named for that yellow flap on their face which resembles a saddle. You can differentiate males from females by looking at their eyes because males have brown eyes and females have yellow eyes. Take us out of the Lilai Forest, so we're going to head towards the Safi River. And in the Safi River, we're going to see if we can find any Nile hippopotamus or Nile crocodiles. You'll want to be looking out on your right-hand side for those Nile hippos. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to stop up here because it is a blind turn. But do not worry, folks, I will be making a photo stop for those hippos further up. Now, most people think that the Nile hippopotamus can't swim, but that's not true. They're actually excellent swimmers, though they prefer to walk or glide across the bottom of the water. And hippos can stay submerged underwater for up to 8 minutes at a time. Also, at night, they love to come up on the banks to graze. They can eat about 150 pounds of grass every night. And on your left, we're looking out for those Nile hippos again. You'll also see white, gray, and pink birds nesting on that middle island. They're called the pink-backed pelicans. The pink-backed pelicans love to travel in colonies and nest in trees, and they get that pink coloration on their backs during mating season. Well, it looks like we have come up to an old and rickety bridge. I'm going to go over pulley, which is Swahili for slowly, so make sure that you remain seated. If you take a look down on your left-hand side, you're going to see Nile crocodiles. Nile crocodiles have a tremendous jaw pressure of about 2,000 pounds per square inch. Now, if you see any with their mouths open, they're not trying to show you their teeth, though they are pretty ferocious. They're actually trying to regulate their body temperature by spilling all the hot air from their mouth. They can run up to 10 miles per hour on land. Now, since I like you folks so much, I'm going to take you through one of my favorite views of the whole reserve. Now, I don't do this for every safari. I am just doing it for you folks. You should definitely feel pretty lucky. Well, you sound thrilled. Yay! But first, coming up on your right, you're going to see a funny looking tree that kind of looks like it's upside down. It's called the baobab tree. The baobab tree can live to be about 1,000 to 2,000 years old. It stores water in its trunk and it only has leaves for 3 months out of the year. It can also grow to be about 75 feet tall. Alright, here it is, my favorite view of the whole reserve. It's called the Serengeti Grasslands. The Serengeti Grasslands grassland stretch for thousands of miles across East Africa. This is the Africa that we're so desperately trying to conserve here in Harambe. The look of everything that you see here has been created by the animals that live here, and it looks like you're going to see some of those animals now. And you're right, those are the sable antelope. Both male and female sables have horns, but females and young males share the same cinnamon coloring. And the male sable antelope is the emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. Alright, now like I said before, the look of everything that you see here has been created by the animals that live here. The elephants act as bulldozers, knocking over all the small plants, while the giraffes are just pruning shears, pruning the sides and bottoms of the small trees to let in light. Zebras and antelopes like this springbok down on your right, they trim up all the grasses. So in a natural balanced ecosystem like this one, with everyone working together, there's more than enough food for everyone, and it's definitely something we'd love to see. Now the springbok, they can jump about 10 to 12 feet in the air. Their horns can grow to be about 19 inches long, and they can grow to weigh about 100 pounds. That gray animal out there with the black horns all by himself is a waterbuck. They have the ability to secrete noisy liquid from their coats, and it helps them to walk, run, or swim through the water without getting wet or weighed down. These large brown animals with the huge white horns are the Ankole cattle. The Ankole cattle are nicknamed Watusi cattle after the natives that domesticated them, and they're the only domesticated animals on the reserve. Their huge white horns can grow to be about 5 to 6 feet long. They look like they're pretty heavy, but actually they're relatively light, because the inside shaped like a honeycomb, and not only does that keep them cool, but it helps to regulate the blood flow through their body, and that keeps them cool in the African heat. Now all around us you probably noticed these tall orange cones, these little orange mounds. They're called termite mounds, and they're hard as concrete. The elephants use them as scratching posts. And when they scratch them out small enough, the antelopes use them as lookout posts to search for lions or other predators.
We're lions.
On your right, it looks like you're going to see white-bearded wildebeest. They're nicknamed New for the grunting sound that they make, and they're one of the largest annual migrations in Africa. Also looks like you'll see Maasai giraffe coming up. They have irregular looking spots, and no two giraffes will ever look the same, similar to human fingerprints. They can grow to be about 14 to 19 feet tall. You're also going to see more springbok.
Two giraffes. Two.
On your left of that is a reticulated giraffe. They get their name from the Latin word reticulata, which means net, in reference to that net-like pattern on their coats, and they can grow to be about 18 to 20 feet tall. Now, I bet you already knew that giraffes are the tallest animals in the world, but I bet you didn't know that they have 7 vertebrae in their neck. That's the same number as humans, even though our necks look nothing alike. Also, on your right, along with those Maasai, you'll see small light brown animals with swirly horns. Those are the Patterson's eland. Patterson's eland are the largest antelopes in Africa. Believe it or not, they can jump up to 8 feet up in the air. And then coming up on your left, after we pass these giant rocks, you'll want to be looking out for mandrill monkeys, because I've heard that they love to hang out in this area. You're definitely going to know when you see a mandrill, because they are the largest and most colorful monkeys in Africa. They're distinguished by the red, white, and blue markings on their faces, which is a symbol of dominance for males. Males can grow to be about 100 pounds, while females can only grow to be about 30 pounds.
George. We need to cross the road. We need to look for the
And then on your right, you'll see an African elephant. Elephants are very social creatures. Females and calves tend to stick together in groups, while males travel solo or loose all-male groups. So I'm willing to bet that that is a male. And wherever the males are, the females are never too far behind. So we're definitely going to go see if we can find some more. And if you keep looking out on your right, you may be able to see that elephant again.
Traffic lights. I think I see some little traffic lights.
Uh-oh. Well, it looks like we have come up to another old and rickety bridge. Unfortunately, folks, I am not allowed to go backwards. I can only go forward. So it looks like we are going over. And that enthusiasm is just amazing. All right, everyone, make sure you remain seated for me. Keep those fingers crossed. Hold on, everybody, hold on! Whew. Well, that was weird. We remained calm, though. It was good, everybody. Good job. Are y'all okay? Yeah? All right, good. Now, we are about to pass under some red clay pits. Red clay pits are a favorite hangout spot for elephants. You're going to see their toes markings coming up on your right-hand side. They love to eat this stuff and get beneficial nutrients from it, kind of like gummy vitamins. Both male and female elephants have ivory tusks, which unfortunately makes them a huge target for poachers. Poaching is the largest threat to elephants. The second is habitat loss, which is also created by humans. It's forcing humans and elephants to coexist, which is dangerous for everyone. So, how can we help them? Well, the first way is by participating in conservation efforts and donations. It's definitely helpful to show your support that way. The second way is by educating yourself and others. Basic screening and awareness is always the first step to making a change.
Upside down.
Coming up on your left, you'll see greater flamingo. Greater flamingo are pink from the keratin in their diet of shrimp and other crustaceans, and they're the lightest pink of all the flamingo species. Baby greater flamingo are not actually born pink, they are born gray, and it takes about a year to a year and a half then to get that pink coloring. Also, you do not call a group of flamingos a flock, you call them a flamboyance of flamingos. white rhinos. White rhinos get their name from the Afrikaans word white, which is a reference to their wide, broad mouths and not actually the color of their skin. And unfortunately, they are another animal that has to deal with poaching on a daily basis. They're poached nearly to extinction for the horns on their faces. They're considered very valuable on the black market, and it's a constant battle every day. Unfortunately, the white rhinos are now considered a threatened species in the wild. And then coming up on your left, you're entering the home of the cheetah. Cheetahs are out right now, so unlike most wildcats, they do their hunting during the daytime. They're going to be straight back on your left in front of the pile of light brown leaves.
No, I see one. I see his head. Right over the. See his tail? Flip. And his head sticking right over that? No.
And we are going to have to get going because cheetahs, they can run up to 60 miles per hour, and my truck only up to 8 miles per hour, so we probably shouldn't test our luck on that one. Up ahead, these rocks are called Kobe rocks. They are a favorite hangout spot for lions. Lions, like cheetahs, love to hide in the shade and under the trees, and sometimes they wedge themselves in between the rocks, so you'll definitely want to be paying attention up on the left. But it looks like on the right, these light brown animals with the back horns of the scimitar horned oryx. They're named for their horns, which resemble a Middle Eastern scimitar sword. And believe it or not, they were declared fully extinct in the wild in the 1980s, but they were bred in captivity, so they're no longer on the extinction list. Also down on your right, the brown animals, the white spots on the faces, and under the bontebok. Bontebok, unfortunately, are fully extinct in the wild, and you can only find them on reserves like this one. You're also going to see more white rhinos coming up on the right. See my favorite animal in the whole reserve, the baby white rhino out there. So cute.
Oh, there's a baby there. I saw that.
And then up on your left, it looks like you're going to see a lioness and a male lion. The lioness actually does most of the hunting for the lion pride, while the male stays back and protects the pride. And lions are inactive 18 to 20 hours out of the day, which means that they spend a majority of their day resting, sleeping, or doing absolutely nothing at all.
You see the top of their fur.
And then coming up on your left, we've entered the home of the warthog. The warthog is the largest burrowing mammal in Africa. They enter their burrows tails first with their razor-sharp tusks out to try and scare off predators. On your right, you'll see the white rhinos again. And then down on your left, you'll see ostrich eggs. They can weigh about 3 pounds each. Coming up on your right, you're going to see ostrich. They're birds with wings and feathers, but they cannot fly. They can, however, run up to 40 miles per hour. There's also an ostrich down on the left now.
They're very fast. And look at that. I took 3.
They can go for indefinite periods of time without drinking any water at all. Any hydration they need, they get from the vegetation in their diet. And unfortunately, there are less than 300 of them left in the wild.
That big horn! Look how much!
I like them.
If you folks are interested in seeing any more animals that you didn't get a chance to see on our fabulous 2 weeks together, make sure that you check out the Pangani Forest Exploration Trail. It's located right next to Kilimanjaro Safaris, and it's a 20-minute walkthrough where you have the chance to see some animals like gorillas, meerkats, naked mole rats, birds, and maybe even a cool underwater view of some of those Nile hippos that we saw earlier. It's definitely something worth checking out. But keep in mind that both Kilimanjaro safaris and the Pay County Forest Trail close at 7 o'clock today. So if you'd like a chance to go see my safari again, one of our safari friends, if you'd like to go see if those gorillas are out and about, make sure that you come back and check us out before 7 o'clock. Now, it has been a great 2 weeks with you guys. It just flew by, didn't it? Yeah, it was almost like 20 minutes and 40 seconds. But it's impossible. There's no way. It's definitely longer than that. Well, once again, folks, my name is Brooke, and it's been truly a pleasure taking you out on our 2-week tour.